So how did the young kids on the block bounce back today against a team like FUT?
It's a familiar foe. They've danced a couple of times this year. Both have gone the way of Los Niños. So FUT have to not only manage figuring things out in the server right now in this best of 3, but also find a way to exercise the demons that have plagued them all year.
I'm wondering if that's why we're seeing some comp changes. FUT, they've played the Gecko before, but it's been a while. They've been opting to go for that Sky. It's going to be a Showers fight. Off the rip, and Patatech
down A.
hasn't missed a beat with that Ghost.
Captain between short at the exact same time. The Spike's sitting in Showers, but they've gotten plenty of license to move around. The only one close by left is Boo. Pesky little Roomba trying to hunt him down. He tries to swing ahead of it, tries to catch the timing, and the shorty will not connect. FUT should be able to roll in nice and easy here.
This is a really late response from
Spike planted.
the B anchors of Rians and Benji Fishy in this round. In FUT right now, you imagine this post plant. After that dagger doesn't connect on anybody's CT, they're going to be geared and ready for this flank. Yedije with the Sheriff to his name. Doesn't hit the mark on Benji.
Nope. Puts a bullet right in between both of them. Zenith will fall as well. Hey, this wasn't supposed to go this way. Captain's left alone. He's able to stop the defuse. Didn't get to half. The jump spot is bold. It's ambitious. It's reckless. But he has no other choice. Rian's doing it on his own. That should not have gone that way.
A frenzied approach for Team Heretics. And a lot of whiffing from FUT early on. Not ready, not dialed in. It was a great crunch right here from Captain to take advantage of all the focus into Showers, and even CNED besting Boo, who had a shorty in U-Haul. Usually that tends to favor the shorty player.
Let's go!
And already the momentum for Heretics, it's in their favor.
And it's big. It'll turn your way when you win a 2v4 on the pistol. What a start.
It was already a ridiculous start to this match against the Titans of EMEA. It will be a walk-up short for FUT.
CNED had to take the TP there.
Yeah, they get separated.
Yeah, there's a judge in Boo's hands.
Enemy down.
Works a little bit better than the shorty.
More ready for that aggression this time around. Captain, I mean, just going for that jumping classic. Doesn't quite connect.
CNED's gotten back to a short so fast.
Yeah, but this disciplined approach right now from Heretics, they're just going to delay the bomb plant. At the same time, FUT, they're just buying time for this flank from Yedije. Woot will get a spam kill on the cracks.
That one gets put in between his eyes. A weapon upgraded.
And the spike will go down.
Little guy does his job. And this time, Heretics are going to have to win another retake attempt with numbers this time.
Patatech still has 2 of those Seekers to his name. The Gecko is rotating in as well. Mr. Fallen opens it up.
Their post's so weak on the other side, though. CNED's the last one alive. And he also crumbles. So Heretics will get their second. I think it's, as we start to think about what the rest of the half will play out like, Dre, we've seen 2 instances now where FUT are making a lot of noise and Heretics are really patient on the rotate. They aren't fully flipping as soon as they hear any noise or anything like that. I wonder how much of that is an expectation that they're going to try. FUT will try to condition, will try to flip the map, will try to do things like that. And Heretics are just, they're staying put.
Yeah, you imagine FUT on their next A-hit with rifles and more utility. Maybe they are going to fight back sight, you know? Maybe that is the adaptation that they've seen in these last 2 rounds. Although you've gotten, you know, I mean, that first round definitely slipped away from you. This second round, you kind of get to feel out how Heretics like to play the retake, how they like to play that A site. So it's something to look forward to. There will be an aggressive smoke, short A, but it's all faint because he's actually playing in hookah. That's Boo. Yedije misses his molly.
Just off the mark.
That will answer a response from Patatech to use the Seekers and re-clear Showers info. But while all that's happening, still a slow approach on the map for FUT. Just seeing all the utility Heretics are throwing out.
But I think on the other side, the approach is the same too. For as much as FUT have played this slowly, Heretics decide where they want to play early on, and they stay. A 1-for-1 trade to Outlaw, dropping Patatek. It's still a couple of sheriffs on the side of the defense. And look, again, on the minimap, while all of this is happening short, they aren't really moving. Now starting to rotate back A. And FUT's going to find those openings. They're going to find that space.
Yeah, they didn't really have to do much. They just waited for any advances from the defending side. Trades went their way, guns in their favor. And I mean, look at Rians. He's still on this B site waiting for a lurk.
And I think, I'm telling you, man, I think a lot of that is just prep off of expecting that approach from FUT. You think about Yetu and he's done that so much this entire year. It's often a 4-1, and if Yetu gets a little bit of space or gets a pick, then they flip the map and lean back into where he found an advantage. But Heretics have been, it seems like they're left waiting on that every single round.
And you kind of have to, because you're 100% right. If the lurk actually is there and it actually does activate, it opens up the entire map for FUT to just finesse around, take those teleports. Oh!
A little parting gift there.
Yeah. The economy for FUT, a little worse for wear, but not the end of the world. Here's the replay of that little exchange in short A from FUT and Heretics.
Deep breath, brother. It's just round 3. I do wonder, though, as FUT kind of dial in on this a little bit, if they're going to be the ones to kind of get advantage of how Heretics have played this defensive side so far, this concern about the flank, because if they lull Heretics to sleep and then they insert Yetu a couple of rounds later into the half, they won't know what hit them.
And they should have a good idea of that as well, because even on that retake on the pistol round for Heretics, it was so late.
Yeah.
Even that last round, I mean, Rian so late. Bit of a faster approach for FUT, contacting into hookah.
We haven't seen much action B.
Whoa. Rians will take out CNED. Some nice shots and awareness. We'll have to flood in the middle of the site, and if FUT decide to speed up, you're going to see a molly, a flash come out.
Yeah, also look at the adaptation now. Now Yetu on the flank.
Yeah, he's got to find an opening.
Or he, just by his presence, just by the fact that he likes to play this way, they're going to leave 3 members of Heretics A. It's like the fear of what's potentially on the other side could be too much, or Rian just holds the line on his own, gets 3 on the round. Now the rotate is afoot. Captain pushing forward. He's got 70 HP, the smokes to provide a little bit of cover, cut him off from the play, and the spike scooped up in the hands of the Viper. An attempt at the plant is delayed for just a moment, but now thinking twice about it, feels a little bit safer and has gotten that far. We've already seen a 2v4. It was the other way around. But can it happen again?
You imagine it won't with all the utility that Heretics have going into this retake. Nothing connecting. Babu connects onto Yetu.
This 70 HP surely can't stand in the face of 4.
And a nice disciplined approach on the retake once more for Team Heretics. And at the beginning of that round, Rian's the star of the show, aware of that timing that could have been made advantage of in hookah. And then, yeah, he just holds the line. Viper wall comes up.
Let's go!
Benji Fishy with another pop-off. Got to shout him out for what he did in that last round. He broke that dagger. That allowed Rians to have full utility. Didn't need it, though, but still.
All he needed was his gun. And so into the 5th we go. FUT with a lighter buy, 3 rifles. And then a Stinger and a Sheriff.
Early rechargeables used in short A for both sides.
Oh, I like this from Boo, though. Look at how far up he's gotten into showers. The knife tagged him, but given where it landed, it's tough to really tell where they could be.
Oh my gosh.
And now that pressure's applied in short, they kind of have to swing back. Patatek's not able to fully put his focus into showers, and he gets punished for it.
Oh, and the Omen flash is going to connect on a Boo here as well. The pinch. He off of that Gecko flash. There it is.
Yeah, there's the paranoia you were looking for. Captain finding the right time to strike. This has been surgical from FUT this round.
Oh.
The weapon upgraded, the kill found. Benji Fishy on an island. And the 5th man, their Thrash, will secure the round as FUT get to 2.
And it was Yetu with that opening on a site with the Guardian. The hero buy. as soon as he gets that kill, they're able to invest that Thrash, get a pinch on the Showers. Oh, what a nice shot. The follow-up as well for Patatek. He has to break so much utility, and then once that Gecko Flash connects on to Boo, that Omen Flash is the Q. Now to Captain. Stepping up huge for his team in this round, closing it out. Economy's still decent for the side of Heretics. There's an operator online for Woot. We saw how deadly that was in the last series they played.
At least in the first half of that series. But
yeah.
again, I mean, the taste that was left in the mouths of everyone who watched this series was, where did Woot go? Where did the rest of the team go? And I think for Woot here, given that you have the op online here early, you've got to hit a spark here.
Something, any type of lightning, maybe in a bottle. Rians will be jiggling. Happy long area, he gets the info. And an aggressive Viper Pit in short A. It's not something you see every day.
Yeah, but they have to know that he's the lurk. Usually. The Thrash to clear out B long, and now they know there's something else afoot here. They know it's more than just what they see.
Oh, Mr. Fallen running straight out of Hookah.
Really nice counter out from VCT, and now the pit to cause more problems. Oh, he spots him, he knows where he is. The rocket never goes off. The pit will go down though. They've created enough space on the site to be able to settle.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
The only one who was not close by was VCT, and he has now joined the fold. Patatek's got to be careful here, understanding they don't have elbow control. He could get swung on at any moment.
Bring them down.
Honestly, his job here too is just to provide cover, be the watchman for Woot as he tries to land a shot. First one's just a little bit off. The second will also be missed. And the punish is there from Captain. 3 on the round as we're tied at 3-piece.
Back-to-back 3Ks for Captain. He's looking really crispy right now with his aim, sitting at 9 and 3. Mr. Fallen, I mean, it was anything short from beautiful, but he recovered at the end of the day, and Captain, the saving grace, going into that Viper's Pit, besting Benji Fishy. And that was a really cool strat that FUT came into the round with. Yedije using that aggressive Viper's Pit short A. It keeps a lot of players there. So once that sight hit comes out on B, there's too much utility for Team Heretics to deal with, and now they're going to be on another scrappy buy. Sheriffs, Stingers. FUT were already able to steal one away. Maybe there can be an answer back into this 7th round of
nice.
bind.
This is nice too, an outlaw in the hands of VCT. And they have plenty of money. That's not the concern. As you look at the armor on the side of Heretics, that's what paints the picture as to why that decision was made.
Yeah. Early Roomba and Gecko Molly into Hookah to clear out a lot of space. CNED getting absolutely obliterated by Benji Fishy.
That's a clean shot early. Sheriff looking nice, but the outlaw just a little bit better, hits a little bit harder. And now you see the overwhelming force of the weapons just besting the defense.
Great control of recoil and spread for Cracks there. Yedije with this outlaw buy. That's why you're seeing him invested into these rounds where they have the armor advantage. It can be so strong. All you need to see is an elbow, and it's a one-shot kill.
I will survive them.
So although FUT went down numbers early on because of Benji Fishy, the recovery on short A, that was everything for them. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right in the hip.
Man. Woot just shows a little leg, and he's punished for it.
Look at that spray control from Cracks as well.
Well, I also think, too, you know, we talk often about how it's such a good weapon into eco situations and light armor or no armor, stuff like that. And that is all good and true. But I think a lot of the value buddy over there has a ton of money.
Yeah, they've definitely flourished. They built their economy up in these last 3 rounds. They've been really decisive as well. I imagine it's going to be another slow approach for FUT. The slow default. Trying to understand where Team Heretics are set up.
The dog getting a lot of info and a lot of space in showers. I think that might let him feel a little bit more comfortable about the rotate back B. You see, Woot's already headed over. Meanwhile, Rian's feeling some of the pressure. Confirming presence and getting the kill. That wasn't off an outlaw. That was just a spam through the wall.
Something we've seen so much this tournament on this map of Bind. that's why you see players buying the Phantom. They don't want their tracers to come out.
Oh, they cleared the Dizzy, so he was able to hold it back. Rians, what a round!
Rians pulled a fast one on FUT. That was disgusting, it was filthy. Flicking back and forth. He started the round out strong, he closed it out at the end. This is that spam that we were talking about, and this.
That one was the easy one.
So explosive.
Enemy remaining.
The little sidestep at the end there to break the spread of Yedege.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, guys.
So
Come on.
finally an answer back for Team Heretics, and we're all tied up here.
Right there.
Patatek has his ult online, Boo does too, as does Woot.
Really good ults for the retake.
Yeah, or honestly for the Flood.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't even want to let him settle, you can just offer so much disruption. It just becomes miserable to try to hold. And so we'll see if that's the approach. We'll see if that's the name of the game for this defensive side. Meanwhile, for FUT, it seems like the formula hasn't changed much at all.
Oh, they're just walking up short A right now while that Viper wall is up. They're walking all the way through. They might be able to catch a timing seed and might be able to find the opening.
Well, the satchel doesn't quite get him up on top of the truck, but he's still able to keep him back. Woots, trying to go aggressive, and the satchel's been botched, and now the molly at his feet, the paranoia through, still manages to get it off, not gonna find the target though. Numbers the way of the attack. Woot still tried playing his cards as best as he could, but will get snuffed out.
And again, the rotations are so late from the side of Team Heretics. They're so worried about Yedege.
Last player standing.
In this case, he's already dead, so it's Captain who's usually the lurk. And that will cause a promptly save for Rians.
You would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
Starting to rotate out, Ronan to get away.
He's
I
gonna
think
get hunted.
part of the problem here too is they are gonna try to hunt him down and get the weapon out of his hands. Is there was nobody watching short either, so there could have been a timing on the wall going up, there could have been a timing on the wall going down, and them just trying to contact through it. Like, there were so many little things that played out in that round. Rians are coming for you, buddy. They are swinging at you as best as they can. Seeing it, Mr. Fallen will punish. The weapon will not be carried into the next, while the finances for FUT continue to flourish.
But yeah, just to follow up on what you were speaking of about this short A-walk, you're right, and it almost happened in that round where Rians went crazy on the default side at B.
Yeah.
He was the one that was aware of the gap, though. It seemed like nobody from the side of Heretics on that A site were ready for that gap.
There was so much focus and so much attention put into showers.
Heretics to even use any ults.
Yeah.
Careful here.
And you imagine they're gonna, I mean, if they get an advantage, maybe they invest him here, but probably saving them through.
Launching smoke.
Meanwhile, inside of FUT, we'll see what it was that guys wanted to adjust into the conversation as FUT turned their attention towards B. Everybody's here. Heretics still concerned about the flank, maybe not to the same degree, but concerned about Patatek sitting up on that box. They're expecting the crunch. You just saw the orb go, stop right in front of the door. So if they try to push into Telly, they're not going to be able to punish. But it's not them that goes through, it's the Thrash. And I think he's stuck there. I don't think there's anything he can do. Yeah, he's detained.
Player standing.
That was messy. Rian still through that, finds himself in a 1v2. But the spams, the tracers are just followed all the way back into Rian's death. Captain gets his third, his FUT get another round.
Their backs will be towards.
You're 100% right about that. That orb was to set up to not get crunched. What the timeout was all for was the previous round, there was free space gathered into Hookah. Nobody even broke the wingman walking in, so that's why you saw this contact into Hookah. This time, Heretics, they were actually there, and Patatek did a really good job of getting a couple blows onto FUT. But it just wasn't quite there, it wasn't enough. And that was a Thrash, a Brimalt invested into the round for Team Heretics.
You're right, they only carried over Patatek's.
Monster on the loose.
Another convincing B split. Woot, that Thrash will connect.
But can anyone punish? Oh, he swings out. I thought there might have been somebody over the top covering him, but Boo drops two. Now the Nightfall will light everyone up. Captain has TP, but Cena can't see a damn thing. The goop in his face will cause so many problems. He's gotten the spike out. He's gone through TP, and I don't know that he'll commit to this, but he does have ult.
If there was ever a player to do this so far in this series, it would have to be Captain.
Oh,
15 and 4.
I think he's heard it, but it doesn't matter. Boot will fall. A 1v3 for FUT to get another. All the magic potentially going their way. You're right, he's had quite a map. He's been ridiculous up until this point, but that dink will leave a brutal headache. And the possibility of a clutch gets smaller and smaller, but maybe his positioning will be the difference maker. He spots one, has to settle onto Thrash, or excuse me, onto Wingman, but now the Molly decides it all. So well played by Rians. Didn't force it, didn't take the fight, just waits it out. Nicely done.
Beautiful retake from Heretics, but a really good attempt from Captain, who's been nothing short of dominant this map. You can't help but feel like FUT are shaking their heads right now about what happened with Wu getting those spam kills. I mean, that site was all theirs. It felt like that Thrash connecting on Wu early on.
That's a tough way to go. So into the closing round of the half.
Blow him up, Mosh.
We venture forth. FUT with a 1-round lead. Captain's the only one with an ult, but there are a couple of members on both sides that can make a play for theirs. A little bit more proactivity from Heretics here. You know, you think about the majority of this half, they've been playing really far back B. They've been playing backside on Tunican, this time wanting to fight a little bit further up.
But they've had a read on it, though. They understand that that is the change that Heretics have made, and that kind of opens up the timing for them to go straight into an A hit after that contact was made. Knife will land onto somebody in U-Haul.
They're fully committing to this. The smoke went out heaven, the smoke went out pipes, the satchel came out, but Benji Fishy was not moved. Now the pit, to make matters infinitely more difficult. Do they push it? Do they challenge it? They can't leave this thing here. Rians falls. The pit's still in play as they try to fight through showers. Meanwhile, Patatek keeping U-Haul for himself. They've got Yedujay and Captain corralled and controlled on the swing, though. Woot not able to find any value. The numbers starting to dwindle as the pit goes down. Benji Fishy lets it drop, gets a kill. He gets them all.
And it goes the way of Heretics, closing out the last round, making it an even score going into the next half. And here's the replay from Benji. CNET did his darnest to try to flank into U-Haul. Can't imagine but feel like he would have been overwhelmed by Patatek's judge anyway.
One enemy remaining.
That recovery from Benji Fishy on the spray, that was really nice.
Benji, nice.
And then the stability to close out the round.
Very clean. 14-8 for the kid as we're tied at 6 apiece.
Look on the satchel already early on for Wu.
On the pistol too, man. That's not nothing.
The rollout out of Hookah now will probably be, I mean, botched. You imagine he's only gonna have one. He's gonna have to land around that default area, or maybe just try to break the sights of Captain.
He's just gonna try to slip away here.
Oh, this is fast.
Oh, you got to speed up
Aggressive
now.
approach.
There it is. Wu with the one satchel makes it work. Finds enough penetration to get a second.
That's one way to open up the B site. Heretics will cycle the bomb on Wood as well, but here comes the flood from FUT.
It's more of a trickle at this point. They just didn't have the numbers to do it. A flawless round the way of Heretics.
Captain getting caught off guard there with his pants down.
And he thought he was just going to be a sneaky little guy. Just kind of quietly walk away. But that pace injected, and obviously the utility from the fade was textbook.
This is something we see 100 Thieves do really well, and it looks like Team Heretics are taking a page out of their book. When it comes to those A hits with the Gecko and the fade, you have all bases covered.
Yeah, there's nowhere on site that's safe.
And if you get caught in transition like that, I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be nearly impossible to anchor. He didn't even have time to use that Omen flash. Going into this round, though, it will be an anti-eco for Heretics with a slow B-long approach
and
of solo fade showers.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe that Omen flash is the difference maker in this round. Only bit of utility he has. Oh, that dizzy wasn't cleared. Neither was that one. Goop for goop.
And a freeze to the round after this B-long orb is being gathered by Woot, who is nearing that showstopper. You imagine after this round, if they can win it convincingly and cleanly, he's going to be hunting for those ecos.
Just a little bit of fireworks injected into the round. Meanwhile, Patatek has gone exploring, spots one, but had no shot on the second.
It's a good trade for the side of FUT, but Heretics, they should be reacting a little bit quicker off of that. That was 2 players seen, short A.
And so they go. There's Boo, or Atacaptain, excuse me. Again, trying to play a trickster.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
But he will get hunted down, he will get flushed out, and he will get dealt with. And so again, FUT will have to try to retake this site. Much like we saw in the previous round, equal amount of numbers, but this time, they're facing much more explosiveness, much more firepower. And these post-point positions that they've settled into, that they've cozied up on, could be the biggest difference maker. Benji Fishy's already been dealt with though. Clean shot up from Cena, and he's gonna have to do it again though. One is not enough.
Last player standing.
And it doesn't seem like it's gonna change anytime soon. It got messy, it got expensive, but 2 rifles carried over.
Woot, one off of that showstopper. And he's getting a little bit of momentum going into this last half of Bind, or potential last half of Bind. OT's definitely not off the table quite yet.
You call those halves though?
I guess you're right.
I think you were right the first time. Stick with it. Stick with your guns.
Fair,
last
fair.
half.
Wasn't pretty whatsoever, but they got the job done, and they are going to invest a little bit into this. Rifles purchased on the side of Heretics. If they can win this round, FUT's economy will be in shambles. And a fast pace at A. That dagger will not connect.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, did he?
Now the satchel out, the rocket connects. It's the bulldog, it's the rocket, it's everything. The guy's just magnetic right now. And he knows he's got more prey waiting on the other side of that wall. Little sidestep, almost punishes him for it, but Wook gets his third.
At what point do you consider to maybe just save on the side of FUT, maybe bring those guns into the next round? It feels like this could be so hard, but there is an opening.
The problem is they're so far up into the site, they don't really have a choice. They're gonna try to take the fight, and it might work out. Force their hand, and they will gladly take it from you.
And just like that, we're even in 2v4s in this series. If FUT had lost this round, it would have been disaster. Would have been a potential snowball for Team Heretics. And that's why they didn't go for the save, I guess, Doug. Nice shots from Mr. Fallen and Cracks. Oh, but the timing for Heretics, it just wasn't quite there. They're not peeking off of one another. They had full advantage into that round.
And they've got to be cautious about situations like that because obviously you lose the round, but those are rounds you feel like you should have been able to secure. That burrows deep into the crevices of your mind.
And it also gives confidence to FUT for future retakes. Understanding that the synergy is not there.
Oh, he did so much damage. And he gets a kill. I mean, look at Rienz, look at Woot, and now look at Yetu-J. Looking for the right time to strike. The snap is good onto one. Unfortunately, cannot find any more. But Heretics got what they were looking for. They've accomplished the first half of their mission. They got the spike down. FUT again on the retake. A deep molly to keep them back, but the spam is just so good. We talked about how prevalent that was going to be on this map. And so far, it has delivered. Can Patatek find another free one? He can!
Last player standing.
A 1v1 now. Atacaptain on the tap, spots where the jumpy comes from. Still not even able to get it to half. He's playing with them like it's a cat and mouse game. Atacaptain has to make a play here. He's got to get the swing. Oh, my goodness. We've just fully devolved into silliness here. And he died to the spike.
Atacaptain will survive barely. And Boo will ultimately fall down because of it. What an awkward exchange. This spam from Mr. Fallen to put the retake in their favor. But Patatek with that random spam from Octagon. Yeah.
He gets two that way.
Phantom can be so good on a map like this. Yeah.
You're so good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Sometimes you just The stars just don't align.
Yeah.
Early dagger to set up the hookah push, and it's a lot of info gathered for FUT.
This is very fast, but FUT are here with it. They just don't have the weapons. It's just one rifle in the hands of Adicap. He's going to be the one on the late flank. If the pieces can stay up, if the bricks can stay standing, there may be a shot at this, but Boo 1-2 steps ahead of the play. Understanding a flank is inevitable, but he's missed the timing. Now, turning back, the gun barrel betrays him. Now it sits harmlessly on the ground, as that was the biggest bit of explosion that they had. That was the biggest win con to their name. Mr. Fallen and CNED will try to do as much damage as they can on the way out, and they'll find plenty. Not again.
Surely not.
They don't get away with something like this again, do they? Nah, not in the face of 3 like that. Patatek gets his 2 to clean it up. Heretics get to 10. Double digits found from the number 2 seed.
Going into that A hit, Heretics had more than enough utility for a potent execute. That's what you saw. I mean, they set up Woot to get all the way pushed up in showers. He just sits at bench, holding the smokes for his team. A or B, and full sending it. So FUT, they really need to weather the storm.
How do you stop an unstoppable object? Heretics have decided B this time, and yeah, it's that death ball that you were just mentioning.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Drop the thrash as well. And another piece falls. They've just had such a hard time at keeping them back. Maybe the pit will provide enough cover. There's no punish off of that Prowler either. There's really no way for them to get up on it, so they're going to be funneled and pushed into the back of this site. The Nightfall will connect onto everyone, I believe. The Paranoid traded out his re-ends, tries to find space around it. Woot spotting a scalp, not able to find it, but CNED can.
Rush is ready.
But the pit is still in play. It's still a problem. You've got this reflank coming through with elbows. Boo's able to keep them all back. CNED's going to have to 1v3. He can't. It's just too much, Dre.
5-man death ball into that execution with the thrash. It's smothering on the site. Mr. Fallen, he actually ends up breaking that thrash, but Woot, he was a step ahead and spamming those tracers through the smoke. Saw him last minute as well. And then the proactivity on the post plan. I was wondering when Heretics were going to take that elbow control, because you don't want to get smothered onto the site. That Viper's Pit allows for some funny things to happen out of that hookah area while your team is splitting from CT.
Yeah, when you're trying to find any space that you can, it's just so miserable to deal with. So FUT back on a rifle and a stinger. And a couple of pistols to work around it. The pistols have found a little bit of success in this map. You know, we've seen 1-taps here and there, which is really nothing to steal a round away.
Maybe CNED will be able to steal something into this round. He invested fully. Light armor and a Vandal to his name. And a way slower approach from Heretics. They know that this is a round they should convert. They know that the economy of FUT is not quite there.
What they don't know is what kind of monkey business is on the other side. So you're right. Much more cautious, much more trepidatious of an approach.
They're just trying to prod around. Maybe look for duels and transition into an execute. Looks like CNED is moving on the map, so whatever Team Heretics did, it's kind of been to rotate, but the proactivity right now from FUT should be the cue for Heretics to speed up A, but the problem is they're running into 3 here, and that Vandal.
The Vandal that was on the way out. Woot never left the ground. That was the ult. What a disastrous start, and now they're going to have to deal with the walls closing in behind them. Crunched in with nowhere to go. But again, the weapons prove to be the difference maker. Yeah, they can get Woot out of the sky, swatting him down. But how do you deal with everything else?
CNED right now going into the next round. Oh, actually,
He's
probably doesn't hit.
He's found a little sliver.
Ah, Patatek sees his arm. And the trade from Marines to close out the round. And really, I mean, it was just Heretics being diligent. They were aware of that walk down hookah. They heard that Gecko flash coming out.
Let's make them hurt.
So Boo controlling that flank while everybody else just needs to look forward. And yeah, Cena got this amazing entry after plucking that Gecko flash out of the sky. But Patatek and Veggie Fishy, really nice play from them.
I mean, for as much as we talked about the first half being close and competitive and, you know, really interesting, this half has been anything but. Heretics have just decimated the opposition.
And here we go. It's a fast short A take from FUT, but nobody there to reciprocate. And now Heretics, they're just going to run it down in hookah.
Yeah, Jay has to stay alive. Any value that he can find is gold. But unfortunately, it's just damaged out. Meanwhile, Adcaptain, knowing, understanding what was on the other side, TP's back B. The rest of the pieces now starting to come together. And a really nice timed ult from Cracks. The Molly's even better, though. But there's nowhere that's safe. No room to be found. Adcaptain playing with them. The fake TPs are enough to get one, but it's all he can find. The TPs through will provide enough space for Cracks to join the fold once more.
It looks like Patatek wants to disrupt this retake, maybe catch somebody off guard. Early Seekers being used. Maybe that'll have to allow for FUT to use something more here. There's the Roomba close to clear out anything. Dagger as well.
He's going to keep scaling.
Last player
But
standing.
Cracks is ready for it. He wants it. He's left alone. A 1v2. The barrel in his mouth.
Attackers
Can't find a thing. Heretics get to 13.
Or on their defensive side, sorry. And that's ultimately what fumbled a lot of rounds for them. So
Sure.
FUT might be able to take advantage of that into this map, into Heretics map pick.
Perhaps. They were late to the fight a lot. You're right about that. And this map does tend to lend itself to more stuff like that. So that very well may be part of the plan, part of the problem. Benji Fishy will get tagged by the stun, but still, of course, recklessly swinging out to take the fight, because why not? Meanwhile, Mingman tried getting out, tried getting the spike down, unfortunately failed, but Heretics might be able to hold them back. Look at Rien's. Cracks at a shock at his feet. What a brutal way for the round to end. Rien's gets 3 there.
Heretics dealt with the fire of FUT's execute there on the B site. Benji Fishy living by a thread of a hair. Nice entry from Woot. And then Rien's just flooding through that smoke, using the shock dart to end the round and finish it for them. A convincing pistol round for Team Heretics on their map pick.
One step forward, 12 to go. FUT on a broken buy. They don't force anything up. YJ has a sheriff, excuse me. So there's a little something behind this.
This stun got a lot of value last time around. Rien's will sidestep it.
Spike down.
It's the same
B.
hit. And he gets this one for it. Benji Fishy has a different set of positioning here, though. And it's going to allow him to move around so much. I mean, he can fully commit to pushing market. He can flank all the way back into main. And that's exactly where YJ worried about, concerned about. They've left one on site. What can Adcaptain get away with here? That much. They've managed to upgrade a weapon, too, into the hands of CNED. Instantly hits the ground. But they've gotten it down to 2s. They just don't really have the weapons. Mr. Fallen picking up the Bulldog, the flash over the top, but Benji Fishy on the swing behind it, the smoke, the only thing that's keeping them apart. One falls. Mr. Fallen, the only one with the weapon, but Patatek's gonna hold to defuse through all of that.
Almost goes the way of FUT here. But just sticking the bomb was Rien's. And Patatek, he did a really good job of using his utility to set up Benji Fishy. I apologize, I believe that was Patatek who stuck the bomb. But yeah, I mean, it was chaotic.
That's
Constant back and forth into that round. The pistol's thriving. CNED got an upgrade with the Bulldog.
That's tough, man. You see, for Heretics, they won that round. That's a Pyrrhic victory. Like, they don't have anything to fight back with here. They're on such a terrible buy.
And that's why you see the Outlaw buy once more for YJ. They'll probably prod up top mid, maybe into market. Just that alone will gather a lot of space for FUT on this attacking side. Very slow approach from FUT once more. Depositing 2 players in B main. That will be the cue for Yedeje to start walking up into this mid area, but this one-way camera, he's not aware of it yet.
Here.
He's getting so much info off this. He sees that there hasn't been another set of footsteps coming through. And he saw the cage, so he understands that's where the lurk is going to be coming from. Oh, CNED. What a miserable way to get caught like that. Benji Fishy now punishing and still understanding there's a flank. There's pressure coming in from the other side. Decides to tuck into the smoke and try to fight out main. Pays for it with his life, but damage has been dealt. This is the Sheriff round that felt like missed all the first half.
And now Woot gets an upgrade with the Outlaw. Even if he gets a tag, that's a W. 4 foot.
But Boo has been stopped. A stinger in the hands of Patatek. Adacaptain with a flash in his face tries to turn, and he's so blinded. What can Mr. Fallen do? A 1v3 in the inferior weaponry. The tag on the Woot is brutal. The satchel to keep him back. It's gonna do its job. A MasterCard Thrifty as Heretics win the bonus. I mean, do you even call it a bonus?
I don't know what that was. I guess it was, I don't know, Nico?
That's crazy.
I mean, all they invested was Sheriffs, but they were steady as a rock with them. Multiple players. Look at, oh my.
I don't even think he saw him.
He didn't see him. CNED didn't see him. And then the use of the satchels here to delay that peek from Mr. Fallen. They pulled a fast one on him, the young kids on the block.
Suppressing.
Early dagger connects on the 2 members of FUT, so that will be info gathered for Heretics. The reaction is a speed up in mid from Adacaptain, but nothing else gained for the side of FUT on this.
No, I think at best, you're going to want to get CNED to find something, get a pick, right? Kind of open up the map a little bit. He's the only one with a rifle. The Sheriff's not settling there. They've gotten him really far out. They've gotten him really far up, and he's going to push into spawn. Has to peek ahead of this, though, because he knows he's been spotted, he's been had. He gets his one, but the rifle's not in a position to be scooped up here. But Cracks pushing it anyway. He might succeed. Yeah, he does.
Could be the deciding factor into this round, into this post plant for FUT. Mr. Fallen trying to set him up, supporting utility to keep him alive.
Very cleanly done. Now they're rolling Thunder. It's gonna tag onto 1. Patatek managed to get through that unscathed and not filling in on the space behind it. Meanwhile, Benji Fishy trying to buy his time. Trying to find it.
No way.
Patatek falls. No, he has to. He's got to come off of it. He gets his one. There's a challenge on the other side. The third. No. Oh, Adacaptain gets them there first and somehow stays alive. That was madness.
And the hero buy for CNED, he just ran into that B site like a madman, pushing all the way to spawn, and he couldn't convert on the second. Patatek got the trade on him here, but Cracks was able to pick up that rifle and get some more kills going into this round. And Mr. Fallen, he was the star of the show for his team here, delaying that retake, keeping Cracks alive for as long as possible.
So FUT on the board, Heretics on a broken buy. CNED one away from his ult. And Woot ahead of it, aware of it.
Oh.
They've cleared the Roomba, so they don't know he's there. Patience. That's the name of the game here. He knows he's baiting him into it, and he punishes. That setup was there from the beginning.
He was so patient with it. The response from FUT is to take A main control, invest the Thrash into the round, but that KO ult gets him off of it.
FUT have to be careful here. Not only has that part of the plan been snuffed out, but because of how things opened up on B main, they've lost a weapon. That's another rifle into the hands of Heretics.
And on the other end of this, once this KO ult goes down, there's still a dagger that will connect onto 3 players. There it is.
To burn the clock down even more. And then if that's not enough, you have Woot, who's got his ult. You've got Rians, who's got his ult. Delay is the name of the game here. There's the Hunter's Fury. The paranoia out. Patatek trying to land the shots. Cracks falls. Woot invests his as well, but he's not able to find any success. They've got to hurry back and try to pick up the spike with 20 seconds left. They've managed to do so, and now the ult. Position given away. No element of surprise here. Spike planted, the reposition through from Adacaptain, the flash in the face of Benji Fishy still manages to land his shots and get his one, leaving Rians on his own. No armor in a 1v2. He can't hold him back.
In the face of so much adversity, FUT, they come out on top. They got delayed time and time again. But it was that isolated pick with this Omen flash on a pad attack that was the deciding factor in winning this. Adacaptain just being fully enabled. And then the up-down right here to close it out. A lot of ultimates invested from the side of Team Heretics to try to win that one back.
4 on light armor for the defensive side. Pad attack, the man on your screen. The only one without.
Boo, he's playing such a passive little pixel angle here. Doesn't connect, but he gets the info. And he's gonna get out with his life.
He did take some damage in exchange.
It's a really nice flash there.
That's such a deep smoke. I mean, that's a one way to stop them from funneling out of the other side, but he TP'd back into it. I don't think they'd be expecting that. Boo is a really nice spot here. Slows things down, buys his time. Now the retake attempt will come through. You see another smoke coming out from Boo as the drone ventures forth. They're all funneled in here. They've got to be careful. 3 on the site. Look at him tucked in, huddled up, now paranoid, and now dead. But there are layers to this, but all of the layers are crumbling. Every single one of them falling apart. Adacaptain will join his teammates.
Utility for utility. It was that Omen flash from Boo. He saved it the entire round. It flew right across that default box and enabled Woot with the satchel to just clean up house. And this is a lot of the success that we saw Heretics have the last time around playing this map of Sunset. They're so good at retaking both sides of the map and then changing the pace and flooding after that. It's been a back and forth battle, but Heretics, they're running away with the lead just a little bit.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, that's aggressive. That's fast out from CNED.
Very fast, but he's playing with fire right now. That one-way comes up to dissuade him. Yedijay will take all of mid-control off of that.
The fault line certainly didn't help either. The paranoia is going to split the uprights, but you see Yedijay trying to fill in on the space behind it. Benji Fishy still tucked in his cage. He's not even the one who strikes. Now, finding his timing, but CNED, what a hold! He gets 3! But he's going to have to get them all. With the spike in hand, and over a minute left in the round, he can slow things down, I guess. But Heretics' positioning right now on the map is so good.
Might work against them though, Doug, because they are very spread apart. But I imagine that pad attack, he's just going to keep jiggling from this top box, wait for that spike to go down, or maybe a tap from CNED.
Yeah. I mean, their positioning right now is all about reconnaissance, right? The only way that they can safely get through this if they were to go all the way into lobby, into spawn, and then rotate back A. A lot of boxes checked here. A lot of map covered.
30 seconds left.
I mean, as best as you can, given that you only have 2. But CNED, time's running out. If you're going to make a decision, you've got to do so soon. Quick last check of market to find that things are safe. The knife's going to tag him, and now they're on the prowl. Now they know where he is. He still managed to get the spike down. Gets the credits for it, sure. If nothing else, he has that much.
He will be able to delay the bomb defuse. I say that as pad attack just spams him through the smoke.
And the tracers give him away.
I was going to say, I mean, he could have used that nade off the tap, maybe get a spam kill off of that when there's pandemonium on the actual site, people running away from the bomb. Disrespect being shown from Heretics onto CNED. And it's Rians with that supporting utility once more. That dart to help Benji Fishy into market, isolate that kill, and enable him to focus on the site right after.
And even the way Benji Fishy plays that, as soon as he sees the Omen TPing in, he takes a slight step to the left, tucks behind the cover so you know he's not going to get swung main, is able to isolate that as best as he can. Those little decisions there in the chaos are so clean for Heretics.
It's the difference between getting 1 kill and 2 kills, maybe even 3.
Or 3. see the buy for FUT, a Guardian for Mr. Fallen.
Camera taken out.
That's a name we haven't said a ton. But he's quietly put together a decent performance. The only one on his team that's positive right now.
Yedajay is just trapped in top mid. Not able to perform that top mid for his team. And CNED, he will double satchel on the site. It's all up to Woot here.
Here.
Sure, bit too much. Can Benji fish a strike from the exact same spot? The kid is electric, man. What are you gonna do with that rocket? No one's gonna swing you.
Biding his time.
Is he gonna get rewarded with a kill there? No. Boo throws it in reverse, takes a quick step back, and now venturing forth, pushing forward. FUT have gotten the spike down. They've gotten 2 rifles upgraded to him as well. The paranoia was nice. Seeing it 1 for 1 though, it just isn't enough. Add a Captain Sheriff. It's gonna be a tough thing for him to pull off. The spam comes through, he will fall.
And it was that late flank as well, just to secure the round if need be. The discipline from Heretics once more showing. Not giving CNED and the Rocket anything. And understanding the gap, the timing that Yedajay took top mid. They were able to drone out, pinch him, and then just hunker down and secure the round win.
And so Heretics will get to 6. A timeout will come through for FUT. Because they've won, I mean, they've won the...
There was a lot of scrap in the beginning, but they've seemed to clean it up. As we head into this 9th round, FUT decide to go for a slow B main default. This time, no satchels invested from CNED. But the bomb is leaned towards A.
Contact, the name of the game here. You know, oftentimes you see a little bit of utility elsewhere. That's been enough to draw Boo to commit the TP to end B, but look where the spike is. There's a lot that Woot's gonna have to figure out here, and he doesn't have the time to do it.
A nice punish from Mr. Fallen, and now they're gonna freeze the round.
But the problem with this freeze here is that's gonna allow Heretics to rotate back A. So if FUT do want to end here, all of the manipulating of rotations that they did at the beginning of the round, it's gone. He's hearing all of this. Patatek has full info as to what's going on now. And look at the positioning from Heretics. They're already here. Patatek might have regretted being here as he's dealt with. Boo on the snap, that's real clean, but you're gonna have to do more than that.
Give me a corpse. Where is everyone?
Someone give the man a corpse.
Footsteps heard as well.
Paranoia in his face, they know where he is. He can see the swing coming, and there's nothing he could do about it. Re-ends in a 1v3. Nothing found, not a single kill. FUT get their 3rd.
That was a very nicely called round off of the timeout. It was a fake from start to finish. Heretics bit. And Mr. Fallen with an entry and just being a bodyguard, protecting the president, who was Karax while he was in Thrash. That was it. Ada Captain had a reflank to secure the round. That was a beautiful round for FUT.
Yeah, but honestly, all of it falls apart if Mr. Fallen doesn't get that opener onto Woot.
Yeah.
So massive props to him. Big round from the breach, and now ult online too. And it's the same look. The spike was cheating over towards A last time. It wasn't in tow. But it's the same look. CNED somehow dancing away.
Has the swing.
Avoiding the damage initially, but you cannot hide. Still a little bit more damage found. The spike's still not in hand.
And just like that, Ada Captain is in and out after trading. A site has to be given for Team Heretics and B site. Boo, a lot rests on his shoulders right here.
Very reminiscent of the conversation we were having in the previous round. It was Mr. Fallen who had the pressure. If Boo can find some space, yeah, maybe, but you've got to be paranoid of that. You've got to understand that you could be getting pushed elbow here. It's just a matter of time on when they turn around. Ada Captain isn't turning. He's not turning! And now they've got the Hunter's Fury they have to deal with. Again, trying to find any target, trying to get any free tag, any free damage. Mr. Fallen was the hero in the previous round, and they're gonna call on him to deliver once more, but he can't. He just can't.
The proactivity from Boo. He knows he was the solo anchor. He took a timing down lane, wrapping all the way around elbow. That's no more smokes after he takes out Ada Captain. And then the retake utility from Heretics. It doesn't matter what kind of numbers they have. It's always just so clean. Cena did a really good job early on here, actually, in the face of adversity, getting a kill. But it was this play that I spoke of. That was it. That Omen flash to secure the round with the KO. Molly. And Mr. Fallen had no chance in the 1v3.
The window of opportunity for FUT is closing. It's getting smaller and smaller. Heretics at 7.
Right there.
4-1 approach for Team Heretics. This breach ult will connect onto at least Woot. But an early nade.
That's so aggressive, and Benji Fishy's able to play behind that. They've invested the Rolling Thunder, they've invested the Paranoia. Seen it. What? Stuns are cosmetic! Unbelievable! How does he get away with it? They should have fallen, they should have crumbled. But the wall stands strong. Right, what does Yetuje do here?
So insane. I mean, he can't do much. It's a 1v4, and with the disciplined approach that Heretics have had all series long.
And the money's terrible too. He just has to save.
And it really feels like that was it. That was the round you needed to secure. You needed that.
30 seconds
You
left.
invested the breach ult.
And you bought into it. This was a gun round. This was your best chance at a 7-5.
It was the half.
And all of a sudden, we're talking about the likelihood of a 9-3. My question was whether or not Heretics would hunt, because their money's in a decent spot for them to
10
go after it,
seconds
but it
left.
didn't seem like they were interested in moving. But now they've gotten active,
Wow, my eyes are down.
and I don't know that they're going to find him.
I should be able to come out of this unscathed and bring this Vandal into the next round.
The only one close by is Boo, and they're just
Last
guessing at this
round
point.
before the switch.
Spend like there is no
The
tomorrow.
protocols of Heretics, they're just too clean.
I don't know, protocols, bro. He was fully stunned. What's the protocol in that?
I just imagine he would get traded out. That's been the name of the game so far on this map,
Yeah.
on this site. I mean,
That's true.
even Woot, I mean, he got hit by that Rolling Thunder, but he floods straight back in off the dart of Rians and supporting utility. But you are right. I mean, if CNIT gets that entry, it could be a completely different narrative. Maybe a salvation to a disaster of a half.
It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Boo has been farming this over for free these last couple of rounds, by the way. He did it in the previous. There was no challenge. The only one who was close, who may have heard it, would have been Yetuje.
This time he will get pushed back, but he steps back in and takes the head off of CNET.
Sent into the next half. Not allowed to play the game these last 2 rounds. He continues to do his job. He continues to do what's asked of him, but now Mr. Fallen's sitting on the other side of this one way. How do FUT get in?
Right here.
The tip of the spear has been blunted. There is no go anymore. There is no execute. And so maybe through utility, they're able to find a window, brute force their way into the site, pry the bars open.
Right there.
But it's tough, man.
They're just locked in, they're locked out.
You see the smoke coming through. There's a little bit of utility that'll help. Hatatech is in a pretty brutal spot here, but if he dances around and plays cards right, he's going to be able to be the last one left standing. Singing the final song of this half for Heretics. There he is, he strikes, and the spike, the most prized possession, sits at his feet on 9-3 half. The way of Heretics. Dre, it was close until it wasn't. That rollout on B, just kind of destroyed everything.
And Boo, the step back into the punish. Such a good anchor on this A site all tournament long.
30 seconds left.
Even when he's walking backwards, he's trekking. Stops on a dime, gets another to clean up.
You're so good.
The one word of caution I will give is that we've seen Heretics have a very big lead, very monumental proportions. Get away from them. I mean, we saw them in the hallway after map 1, and they're like, yeah, no comebacks this time. We're not going to allow it. And I mean, they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is here.
The key difference here is that this is their map pick. They're familiar with this. They have so many reps. This tournament alone on it.
Sure. That nade is gonna hurt. That does not feel good. There was nowhere for Patatek to go. Woot's gonna be a casualty as well. That's a really nice defensive hold so far. But who else but Pooh paving the way.
Answering back. Benji now walking onto the site. Crack's gonna take a 1v1, but Pooh again, steadying the shots.
In the face of a flash. Manages to get another. Just when it seems like Heretics should be put away, they continue to chip a little bit. They continue to find an advantage here, an advantage there. They're just nuisances. They never go away. When you think you've got them done, it's heroics. And it's going to require heroics if they want to get this pistol, if they want to get to 10.
There's one.
Uh-oh.
Last player standing.
Can Benji Fishy 1v2? No. Overwhelmed. Yedijay on the swing, but a fuse will come through for CNED. FUT needed the pistol, and they got it.
It was a good start. It was a good trap in mid from FUT, and it got a little shaky, got a little dicey, but they were able to hone it in and get the trades onto the actual site and secure a pistol round win to start a comeback. That was that trap I was speaking of, nade into Gecko Flash, and even add a captain from Market.
Enemy remaining.
Very nicely played.
They're still smiling. That's a good sign. FUT up to 4. An outlaw in the hands of Woot. The Des talked about how this felt like this is the moment that CNED needed to deliver in, excuse me. He needed to be, or needs to be, the leader for his team here. He needs to be a spark because Woot has done this entire series what CNED is needed to do.
I mean, he just lit a fuse right on Ada Captain's head, and now that's the smoke's gone from the round. And more, Patatek cleaning up the tag from Woot. A nade to push back Yedijay. And the entire map now is a playground for Team Heretics.
My camera is
They may have more options than they know what to do with. And what's tough is there's no win for on the other side, so CNED has to rotate back B because of the possibility of a flip. They're spread so thin. It's a luxury they don't have in being able to stack here. The problem with this though is that even if they get picked off, they're gonna lose these weapons. The upgrades are only gonna get better for Heretics. The situation only getting more and more dire for FUT. Yes, CNED needs to deliver. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Yes, there's a lot of eyes on him. But this? A 1v5? And now they know where he is?
It's impossible.
Heretics get to 10. That might be the dagger. They invested so much into that. That wasn't like a hobbled together buy. It wasn't stingers and things like this.
Woot. That entry onto the smokes player and then the tag to allow Patatek to secure the round, basically. And you're seeing it on the faces of FUT. That was the round you had to win.
The one that gets away. No point in thinking about that, though. They're going to have to make wine out of water if they want to pull this off. Literally looking for something out of nothing, and unfortunately for them, that's what they found there, nothing.
They tried to set it up. They tried to make a trap play. But Heretics, they're too ready for these plays. They're not going to let this one slip away like FUT did in the previous round. And with an outlaw on this attacking side, you have so much to worry about if you're the defense. You don't want to peek certain angles. You don't want to jiggle for space.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give them a line.
This head-to-head right here. Boo will come out on top. And now he's just gonna probe into the A site. Trying to salvage anything is FUT with the flash in again. But that freeze, it baited out all the rotations, and that entire A space gathered from Boo. He calls his team back. The IGL taking things into his own
30
hands
seconds
after getting that entry.
FUT came into this tournament as the #3 seed from EMEA, but in the eyes of many is the best team to come from that region. There was a lot of hope. There was a lot of excitement behind this squad, and they roared out onto the stage. Don't get me wrong. They looked good. People understood why. Yeah, these guys can compete. These guys are pushing for hardware.
Last player standing.
But it seems like they're going to take a bow to Shanghai with a whimper.
This has been one of the most one-sided maps we've seen.
Meanwhile, Heretics, as they get a flawless round win, as they get up to 11, now just 2 rounds away, 2 steps from the biggest stage so far. Their performance at Madrid, I mean, that's
Long
such
gone.
a distant memory, right? To get obliterated the way that they did, and yeah, they went up against Sentinels, and yeah, they went up against Heretics. I'm not taking that away from them. But the truth is, they went 0-2 when people had more expectations. People wanted more from these young kids, and it seems like they've matured and they've grown in such a massive way. To go from 0-2 to the Mercedes-Benz Arena, potentially, it's just so impressive.
Even just bouncing back from that 11-2 lead.
Oh, it's not getting any better, Dre. It's not getting any better. CNED tried punishing with the rocket, and the high ground for Moot was too much.
Down A.
An obliteration of FUT. Rians, another kill. In a free B site, holding for his team to rotate all the way through. FUT are so far behind in this round, in this match.
Right there.
A perfect representation of what's gone on this series. I mean, the first half of Bind was good. It was 6-6. We thought we had a fight on our hands.
Grenade!
That was the last swing that we saw come out from FUT. Cracks and Mr. Fallen will again be called upon to deliver heroics, to deliver magic. And Heretics, I mean, they've been in the face of this before. Again, surely they don't make the same mistakes that plagued them just 24 hours prior.
And there's no time to do this, so FUT, they're gonna throw in the towel on this round. Bring those guns into the next, and they're gonna have to perform an even greater miracle than what G2 did yesterday. If they want to represent EMEA at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Woot, he saw the barrel of Mr. Fallen. He will get taken down.
Yeah, cleans him up, puts a crosshair right on him. So both rifles will look like they will be carried into the next. And that's all they're gonna have.
Match point.
The final hope here, man. It's so tough when it feels like nothing is going the way of a team. They're trying to be proactive, right? They're trying to set these traps. They're trying to take the initiative, but
They're just getting punished.
yeah, you're not even seeing the same pop-offs from Heretics that you normally see. You don't see them out of their seats. You don't see them going nuts. They know they've got FUT exactly where they want them. And so FUT hobble their way into the 17th round of regulation. What might be the last.
No tag.
Oh yeah, it's not connecting, and Woot will gladly fill him behind it, and even that, a couple of parting shots, what should just be a warning, ends out tagging on the scene at 63 HP, no armor left. Heretics pushing forward now, looking to put FUT down.
The bomb will go down, and so does CNED. Once more, a 4v5 now for FUT. Tournament life on the line.
FUT will put one final attempt at retaking a site, at prolonging this series. A flash in the face of Woot. The sidestep is there, and of course he snaps! Just like that! Cracks and Jay, what can you do? They've got the utility, they've got the mollies. What they don't have is numbers. And so Cracks will fall, and And then there were 4. Back to back to back. As Heretics